What's going on, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood Slav Krov Malenkov, here to bring you another 10 historical and mythological references in For Honor. As I said in the past 5 videos now, For Honor is a game based on historical warriors, and there are many references within the game's content that throw out some historical names and mythological stories. So here is another list of 10 historical and mythological references, part 6. We'll start our list off for our first pick with Gladiator's Basilisk weapon variant. This variant can only be obtained once you reach Rep 7 and higher with your Gladiator. The Basilisk is a reptilian-like monster that is said to be able to kill anyone with one dreadful stare. I say reptilian-like because there isn't really a 100% description on the Basilisk, as there are many variants of it. In some cases, it's a large monstrous snake, and in others, it's a small snake. At other times, it is a reptilian lizard-like beast with over 8 legs, and yet another description has it looking like a weird combination of a snake and a rooster. Why this confusion? Well, it's because of another creature called the cockatrice, or the cockatrice. The cockatrice has similar features and characteristics as the basilisk, but the most similar is how they're created. You see, a cockatrice is created when a rooster lays an egg that has been incubated by a snake. And a basilisk is created when a snake lays an egg that is incubated by a rooster. Confused? Well, as am I. Both apparently are incredibly venomous and can breathe fire. The basilisk, however, is a more well-known monster in myth and has been placed in many fantasy stories, such as the Harry Potter series. It's interesting to note that the basilisk can kill with one stare, which, unfortunately, this weapon variant can't pull off. Believe me, I've tried. Jumping now to the Viking faction already for our second pick, we have the Warlord's Dunjer weapon variant. This weapon variant is labeled as an epic variant, meaning it can only be acquired after you reach Rep 5 with the Warlord. The name Dunjer is based off of one of the 4 mythical deer that eat the branches of the World Tree. Unlike Nidhogg, who rips and tears at the roots of the World Tree, these 4 stags are said to simply eat at the branches, specifically the leaves, for nourishment and help in maintaining the tree. Dunjer, meaning dark-eared, eats with the others. Dain, meaning the dead one. Dvalin, meaning the dawdler or the delayed one. And Durasrur, meaning the sleeping one. There are many thoughts as to the purpose and reason behind these 4, as they are only written about once in the Poetic Edda. Some believe they are representations of the seasons, one for each of the seasons: fall, winter, spring, and summer. Another theory is that they represent the 4 winds of the 4 cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. However, no one knows for sure, and we may never know the significance of the 4 stags. For our third spot, we have Valkyrie's Valk the Impaler execution. This execution can be purchased for the Valkyrie for 7,000 steel. The execution should ring the name of a well-known duke in your ear, one who truly enjoyed impaling his enemies like Valkyrie here. Trade Valk's name with Vlad, and you should know exactly who it is I'm talking about. Vlad Dracula III, or better known as Vlad the Impaler, was the Voivod, or Duke of Wallachia, back in 1448 CE, and again in 1456 to 1462 CE. Son of Vlad Dracul, meaning Vlad the Dragon, Dracula, meaning son of the dragon, supposedly, went to become the Duke of his people of Wallachia and would come to be a thorn in the Ottoman side for years to come. At the time of Dracula's second rule, the Ottomans had taken Constantinople, now Istanbul, and began spreading its power into the heart of Europe, specifically in the Balkans. Led by Sultan Mehmed II, the Ottomans wanted control of the Eastern Europe through autonomy, not direct rule, and chose to leave Dracula as the Duke of Wallachia if he paid homage to the Sultan. Dracula refused to do so, and later would attack forts and cities held by the Ottomans. In outrage, Mehmed II gathered a massive army to eradicate Dracula and seize Wallachia for the empire. It was during this war that Vlad claimed the title of Impaler, as it is said that when Mehmed II entered the town of Targoviste with his army, they found it deserted, except for the hundreds and hundreds of people who had been impaled by large stakes in the ground. Men, women, and unfortunately, even children. All had been horribly impaled by these stakes. A horrifying way to go, but an awesome reference for an execution nevertheless. Going now to the samurai faction for our fourth spot is their Jubuko mythic outfit. This outfit can be purchased for any hero in the samurai faction for 15,000 steel. The Jubuko is a yokai tree that is said to feed on human blood. It is believed that a Jubuko is created by sucking the blood of humans that have been drenched in the ground. Most commonly, they are said to be found in areas where battles had taken place. You'd think that a tree wouldn't be able to consistently get human blood. However, since the tree becomes a yokai, it becomes sentient and is capable of movement. For whenever a human were to ever cross the path of a Jubuko, it's said the tree will physically trap the person and suck the blood directly from them with the branch turned into a tube it uses to feed. The interesting thing about this outfit is that each one of the ornaments has a different reference as well. That's what we'll be talking about next, just so that way I'm not repeating myself too much. We're just going to be talking about the ornaments from this outfit. For the Kensei's ornament from the Jubuko mythic outfit for our fifth spot is the Sojobo ornament. The Sojobo is said to be the king of the Tengu, and a Tengu is a Japanese mythological creature that is said to be either a kami, a god, or a yokai monster. The characteristics of the Tengu vary, as some depictions have it looking like a humanoid with bird-like qualities such as feathers, wings, and a beak, and other depictions have less of those characteristics, and they rather look like red-skinned men with a noticeably large nose. Sojobo, being the king of the Tengu, is said to reside in Mount Kurama, and lives life as a mountain hermit. He doesn't seem to want to bring harm to anyone, as he is more or less just wants to live in relative peace. I say more or less, as there is a story parents tell their children that if they run out of the forest near the mountain, Sojobo will come to eat them. A famous myth that steeps into history is Sojobo teaching the famed samurai Minamoto no Yoshitsune the art of war, along with sword fighting and magic sometime in the 12th century. This is supposed to be an explanation as to how good of a tactician he was during his time in the Genpei War in Japan that took place from 1180 to 1185 CE. You know, I actually covered a battle from this war in one of my For Honor historical battle episodes featuring the famed samurai warrior Tomoe Gozen. You know, you should go check that out if you'd like. Going to Big Boy Shigoki for a sixth spot is his Dai Tengu ornament. From the Jubuko mythic outfit, a Dai Tengu is said to be a stronger, larger, and wiser version of a normal Tengu or a Kotengu. Sojobo is said to be like a Dai Tengu, as they themselves are said to reside in mountains and simply live in peace and meditation. The religion of Shugendo, a religion that predates Shintoism and Buddhism, is said to worship the Dai Tengu, as they wish to be like them, to be able to live in harmony and to do better themselves to almost a higher state. Dai Tengu will teach anyone worthy enough to learn the secrets they can teach, hence the story of Yoshitsune as previously mentioned. For our seventh pick, we have Orochi's Kodama ornament. A Kodama is a sort of spirit or nymph that resides in the trees of Japan. They appear as ghost-like images of animals, people, but mostly balls of light. Kodama are fairly peaceful as they are rather small and are said to reside in trees peacefully alongside humans. However, if a tree that has any Kodama living in it is purposely cut down by a person, it's said that that person will be forever cursed by the Kodama. It's become a ritual thing in most Japanese culture to revere the spirits that dwell in trees, as some areas of Japan worship the Kodama as a god of sorts, and in some places, festivals are held in honor of the tree spirits, calling them Kodama-sama. Going now to Nobushi for our eighth pick, we have the Renge ornament. Renge is Japanese, meaning lotus flower, as you can see from the ornament's design. It has a flower being held by a hand. Simple, right? We're done here. This reference is done. That's it. Okay, next. Well, hold on. The Renge is actually a specific lotus flower. one that is sacred in the Buddhist religion. The ornament likely is a reference to the Myoho Ringe Kyo, the Lotus Sutra. This sutra is considered to be the most famous and well-known sutras passed down from the Buddha himself. The Lotus Sutra is comprised of over 28 chapters that teach people many virtues, from how to be peaceful and generous, and even teaching ways on how to become enlightened and becoming a Buddha yourself. It holds many parables and stories that are used as teaching methods on understanding the Buddha's words. Now, I'd like to get further into this, but there's just so much information about this topic that I really don't want to get into it, so look into it more if you're interested. But let's face it though, with how hateful and toxic Nobushi is, I don't think she's ever read this sutra. Coming on down to Shinobi for our 9th spot, we have the Karasu Tengu ornament. I've already discussed about Tengus and how some can be benevolent and peaceful beings, but I also mentioned how they can be quite nasty and evil monsters as well. The Karasu Tengu is such a being. Karasu, meaning crow, is a form of Tengu that takes more bird-like qualities than human-like ones. However, the noticeable difference with the Karasu Tengu from other bird-like Tengu that it is almost completely black, save for a few pieces of clothing that it has, or that it may be wearing. It's said that the Karasu Tengu is said to kill those who enter its territory, start wildfires, and even kidnap children and adults. Sometimes, people never see the person who was kidnapped again, but a few who do end up coming back end up in a state of dementia, either never remembering what happened to them or becoming psychotic and become extremely violent without warning. This phenomena is actually a term which is called Tengu Gakushi, meaning hidden by a Tengu, and has come to be the reasoning behind most mental cases in early Japan. Perfect for Shinobi, as I too go into a psychotic rage fit whenever I'm faced with an exceptionally toxic one. Coming down to our final pick at number 10 is Aramusha's Ashura ornament. When I first saw the design and the name, I instantly knew exactly what this ornament referenced. The Ashura, or more widely known as the Asura, are godlike beings that seek the opposite of what their Deva counterparts seek. They desire power and indulge in violent behavior and seek to fight and yearn for victory and become engulfed in rage and malice whenever provoked. The Asura comes from Hindu myth, but it is also found in the Buddhist faith as well. In some Buddhist beliefs, the Asura is depicted as a humanoid being that has 3 heads positioned on opposite sides of one another, and having 4 to 6 arms jutting from the back. In Hindu myth, however, they too share this design. In some cases, though, an Asura can have over 100 heads, and even 100 or thousands of arms, and sometimes are said to be more animal-like, being part elephant or tiger. The Asura is considered an evil being that has gone astray from the rightful path and indulges in only seeking power and destruction of their enemies. Kind of like salty and toxic players. Oh, spot on. And with that, there ends another video. There goes another 10 historical and mythological references crossed off the list. What'd you guys think of these? Did you know any of these, some of these, or not a single one of these? Comment below to tell me what you guys thought of these. Don't forget to like the video if you do. Stay tuned on the channel for any future content. Thanks for watching, and as always guys, play on.